For the second time this year, 13 Investigates is looking into allegations of excessive force against the Belvidere Police Department. Since our first story aired back in February, 3 more lawsuits have been filed, all of them with one officer in common. Tonight, 13 Investigates looks into these new allegations, and for the first time, we hear concerns from an expert on use of force about what's going on in Belvidere.
Take your hands out of your pocket, man. You, take your hands out of your pocket. No!
The man in this dash cam video.
Turn around!
The man in this video. And the man in this picture all ended up in the hospital after arrests with the Belvidere Police Department. And they are all suing for excessive use of force. The officer named in all 3 lawsuits? Brandon Parker. That name may sound familiar. Officer Parker was one of 2 Belvidere officers we investigated earlier this year over allegations of excessive force. Despite multiple people coming forward and at least a dozen lawsuits involving police officers, Chief of Police Shane Woody and Mayor Mike Chamberlain chastised our report and stood by their officers.
I know the whole truth. I've looked at all the information.
Full video.
And that, what you saw on 13 was nothing compared to what the reality is.
We don't beat up people. We subdue them and take them to the ground so we can control the situation.
But the 2 refuse to explain what the whole truth is, denying 13 Investigates an on-camera interview then and now, this time citing pending litigation, but maintaining all complaints are investigated thoroughly, and when warranted, there is appropriate discipline. So we brought in a nationally recognized expert on police use of force to review these latest claims and how the city is handling them.
It certainly raises some concerns.
Michael Leonaggio is talking about this stop. Take a listen to how it starts.
You guys look a little young to be out.
The man, it turns out, is 24, not too young to be out. But Leonaggio says the problem is Officer Parker never asks for ID or any information for that matter.
I didn't see any investigation, and that becomes a big problem.
You, take your hands out of your pocket. No! Don't move!
Once off camera, Parker gives his canine the order to engage.
I'm down! Get on the ground!
Would you consider this excessive use of force?
It could be. It's difficult to say just based on seconds of video.
So we also showed Leonaggio the police report. Parker says it looks like the man was doing something with his hands behind the girl, and he said he did not know if she was being held hostage.
There was no indication as you saw them walking up the street that the female was a hostage. That's a bit of a leap.
Parker says he deployed his canine because the man punched him, but that's all off camera. Officer Parker says in his police report he placed his foot on his right side. What would you call what he did?
He kicked him.
Is that a tactic that police officers use in stops?
Not that I've seen.
And what about this arrest? This man, Adam Fick, refused to give his name to police.
Not giving me your information.
So they put him under arrest for obstruction of justice. But here's what happened.
Hey, chill! Come on! Stop it! Stop it!
13 Investigates spoke with Fick's attorney, Patrick Moore.
Both Officer Parker and Officer Zapp, after the incident, discuss how Officer Parker was the one who released the dog.
I saw you open the door to him. I did. I saw going in.
And yet Officer Parker's report claims that it was Mr. Fick who released the dog on himself.
So you think he lied on the police report?
Whether it was an intentional lie, what it said in the police report does not reflect what was said on video.
But Leonaggio says there is a bigger problem with this arrest.
The fact that he was commanded to bite is the concerning part to me.
But the Belvidere Police Department ruled that was justified, according to its use of force reviews obtained by 13 Investigates, because Fick made a fist and Parker took that as a threat. Federal court records show city attorneys deny excessive force was used, saying Officer Parker reacted in an objective and reasonable way. Parker himself wrote in a report, if Adam would have cooperated and not fought, he wouldn't have been injured.
While I did see active resistance, the person was resisting being handcuffed and being controlled. I didn't see anything at that point that, in my view, would have risen to the level of a dog deployment.
And there's another part of the video that concerns Leonasia.
Put the phone down!
And there's nothing illegal about a person being in a public place filming police doing their work.
2 years later, police still have that phone.
This is a potential Fourth Amendment violation.
In your professional opinion, what action should happen regarding the Belvidere Police Department?
I think there should probably be an outside investigation.
After our last investigation, Alderman Marcia Freeman called for an outside investigation.
It is my recommendation that we commission an unbiased outside entity to continue the investigation and get to the bottom of the allegations.
But council never approved one.
Those concerns need to be addressed.
The question is, with these new lawsuits and allegations, will they be addressed now? As for the third lawsuit, attorneys say Parker and 3 other officers repeatedly hit this man, breaking his nose and a bone in his eye socket. The police report says one officer hit him twice in the face to get him to comply and get on the ground. That lawsuit is also suing the city, saying it is aware of repeated allegations against certain Belvidere officers and has failed to do anything about it. As for these lawsuits, none of them will see a courtroom until this summer at the earliest because of COVID-19. However, they could still settle out of court. 13 Investigates will continue to follow these cases and City Council to see what happens next with these allegations.